Okay, so before we get underway, this is just some of the chaos that goes on before these actually happen. Oh, I love it. Wait, can I push the beamer off? You have escaped this time! Oh god, this is gonna be hilarious. Hello and welcome to another brand new Forza Horizon 5 video. However, this time we're doing something a little different. As you can see, everybody on this list is in B-Class cars, because we're doing a kind of multiplayer community event that was hosted on the Fail Race Discord server. We all needed to be in B-Class cars, and, well, let's just say I do not know how well everything is going to go, because the car I have here is in B-Class. You're not allowed to engine swap. We weren't allowed to change our driveline, and yeah, I started out with B-Class all-wheel drive, and well, let's just hope that everything goes a-okay. Honestly, I'm a bit worried because, yeah, that's not good. Oh, did that just put us in last to start out with? Oh no. Yep, it did. Oh, brakes are not good on this thing. Let's be fair, we are running off-road tyres. Yeah, that didn't work. We're running off-road tyres, so I guess the sort of the steering issue could be caused by that. I just noticed this is 6 laps long. This is going to be fun. At least now, because we messed up on the first lap, at least we got quite a fair chance to recover now. I've just got to drive this thing sensibly and not horribly. So I need to brake a lot earlier than I usually do and try and drive this thing pretty well, because these aren't driver tyres, these are actual real people. Yep, all the ones you see on the leaderboard to the right-hand side are real people. This is going to get interesting, I just know it for certain. Right, we'll go ahead, throw ourselves onto lap number 2, and try and see if this car can redeem itself. Because if not, well, we've still got a few more races to go. So, let's go and see what this thing can do. Up into the first corner, we've actually got a nicer line this time. I can see the field all over there. But, yeah, we've got to get some quicker lap times. So at least even then, if I can't at least catch the field, I can at least try and go for a decent lap time. Well, hopefully, at least. Right, I'm going to skip ahead probably to where something interesting happens, because at the moment, just footage of me being at the back of the field isn't very entertaining. Alright, so now we're coming up onto nearly lap number 4, but at the moment I can see 11th is really close on the map, so I've just got to try and hope that this thing will actually hold its own ground through here. Because I've got to drive this thing kind of carefully, yet also not carefully, if that makes sense. It needs to be driven, well, just driven. That's about the only way I can put it, really. And that should be us onto lap number 4, which means you only have 2 laps now to try and catch at least 1 place. Which is going to be tricky. Even though this thing's all-wheel drive and 300 something odd horsepower, yeah. Honestly, yeah, it's not as good as you think it is, or at least my driving is certainly not as good as you think it is. However, we are slowly getting better around here, but this thing just does not have the pace to try and keep up with like the other people on the field. So we're going to have to probably see how it does in the next one, because I don't know if the next one will be on dirt. Hopefully, if it is, this thing might have an advantage. Mostly because there's not buildings. Oh well. So the top 3 at the moment is currently held by Star, Quackula and Steve. They're currently holding the top 1, 2 and 3. Ren is in 4th. Test is in 5th. C322 is in 6th. KJ is in 7th. Surge is in 8th. Skellark is in 9th. Let's try and get that corner right. We've got Ravenhawk in 10th. And a whole bunch of lesser numbers in 11th. And then there's me in dead last. Oops. Turns out the trees and missed checkpoints are definitely my downfall. Oh well. Right, we'll try and see if we can get just a decent run on this. We want to at least try and go for a best lap if we can, or at least see how close we can get. Because I don't think it's going to do too well, because the car we picked did start off in B anyway, so yeah, this thing had to be kept in B because that was the restrictions, and it turns out it wasn't too good on the first race. However, we're going to go on to the second race in a little bit, and hopefully this thing will have a chance to redeem itself. because at the moment it's not doing a very good job of it. Mind you, I'm not doing a very good job of redeeming my own driving either, so bear with. And Star has already crossed the line. I think this thing might land itself a DNF in its first race, which isn't good, but we're going to have to try and see at least how far around the track we can get, because if we do well getting at least a little bit around the track, then this should give us a little bit of an idea of how this thing is going to act going into the next, I guess, race? Oh well. Well, let's see how the next race is going to do, because that was kind of appalling, semi on the car's fault, semi on my own fault for missing a checkpoint and driving like a complete idiot, and also whoever's idea it was to put a building there. However, the Porsche 914 took the lead, and followed up by the Datsun 510 and the 2007 Honda Civic. Right, well, we're going to go ahead and load into the next race, and go and see just how everything will go. So next we head to the Caldera Scramble. Now, I made a custom course around this, and honestly it was a lot of fun because it went all around the edge of the volcano. But now we've got the GTO, which is not as easy as the Mini that I raced around here, let me just say that. We are, however, on off-road race instead of off-road rally, but we're going to go ahead and see, hopefully this thing should be able to redeem itself on the dirt. We can just get this corner right, because there is a Honda Civic right where we need it to be. Oh, that was honestly a lot better. Okay, there goes the rally. So you can tell who's on rally tyres, who's on street tyres, who's on whatever tyres, by the fact that everybody on the rally tyres has just gone flying off into the distance, and there's half the group is behind us. Well, that MX-5 is really, really close. We're going to have to give that some space going around here, because, yeah, I don't want to crush an MX-5 into God knows what. I've gone for a good line through there. Oh, did they miss the checkpoint? No, they got that? Okay. On my screen now, miles off. Right, just need to brake early and make sure we can take some tight enough turns to get away from everybody behind us. Because we managed to last an entire lap without being in last, which is actually really good. Oh, that does not like that turn. We can use the banking a bit to our advantage. Oh, the MX-5 missed a checkpoint. Okay, so we've now got the SC300 in front of us. And I've got no idea what the top gear driving, but... well, only one way to find out. Second gear in this thing is probably the best, because third is an absolute horrendous mess in this thing. Right, I think our advantage here might be the fact that I am on the proper tyres for this and we haven't missed a checkpoint yet. Well, it could be the fact that we've got this vehicle. Yeah, we're going to have to be careful. We are gaining, however, on the SC300, which is actually quite interesting. If you want to see if we can try and make a pass happen the next few laps, trying to at least get 7th. But as soon as we hit the straight, that thing is gone. Where? Okay, so on the dot, there's somebody way off in the distance. We need to brake really early for this one so we can try and get this turn down. Get ourselves into third. Actually, no, we'll need to be in second to try and get ourselves away from here quickly. And then we'll go up into third in the straight so we can try and bolt up the hill a bit and try and get away from whoever is behind us. Right, let's try and see. I want to try and keep this on the road as much as we can. Well, I say on the road, more like on the dirt on this one technically, but I want to try and catch that SC300 rather before the end of the race. But as soon as the Lexus hits the straight just up there, that's it, it's gone. There's nothing we can do because we don't have the speed, although we do have the grip. Although we are keeping a very steady 8th currently, that could all change. Because as we saw, the MX-5 missed a checkpoint, and I think that fell way down the order. Yep, the MX-5 is only, I think, just about making its way back up through the pack. Honestly, I'd say that thing's done pretty good for considering what happened to it. So the fact it's been able to recover as quickly as it has... oh, we've put it in a wall. That's not good. Yeah, the MX-5 is right behind us, so we're going to have to try and defend a little bit. But if it goes to the inside, then there's nothing we can do. Oh, that was really close. Okay, that MX-5 is just going to have to go fast. We just can't keep that. We can't keep that behind us as much as we try. But we can probably keep quite a close ratio on the MX-5. If we can at least keep proximity rather. If we can keep that close, then... oh, that's close. I said about keeping close. I guess that's kind of a good example of what I was saying, but I don't know. The Volvo's behind us, so I think that might be on some street tyres. Or it might not have this anyway, it might not have something because that is a front wheel drive car after all. Believe it or not, the A50 is indeed front wheel drive stock because, yes. And another thing that I didn't point out was the fact that we're also racing this thing under reasonably priced cars, which has to be 30,000 credits and below. So, yeah. I've got an idea in mind for the title of this already, but it's going to have to see sort of what happens. Anyway, through here we go. What do we have? How close is that? Oh, the Volvo's miles away. It just needs us to drive this thing somewhat reliably. Cannot speak, but oh, that's not good. That is not a good example of driving reliably. However, we are on the last lap, so we either need to keep this 9th, or we at least need to start chasing some people down. Somebody's... Okay, first has finished already. I think that might have been the 510, I'm not quite too sure. With the Porsche 914, I know that's in a second. So that thing's actually done pretty well for itself, so I did consider taking that as a first choice, but I thought rear-wheel drive is going to be a little tricky out here on the dirt, but yeah, that thing has booked it. Absolutely booked it, it's gone. So let's see. We're, again, not going to get another finish, we're going to get the second DNF as the second sort of race that we've, well, raced. Let's see, what actually happened to that sort of first few. It is indeed the 510 that took the win with a 46-second lap time, which is quickest out of the entire race, and the 914 was in second. Okay, so those cars are definitely two to watch out for. So, yeah. Oh, and the 510 has done the disappearing act. Fantastic. Right, I guess we're going to go ahead and move on to race number 3. So, on to race number 3, the Chihuahua Circuit. Now, we all know this thing was indeed really actually quite good on dirt. However, back on road, it's not exactly the best. However, we do start off in 9th. And where's that 510? Starting just ahead of us, and the SC300 is right next to us as well. I've got a feeling the Porsche is probably going to take this by an absolute landslide, and we're probably going to get completely slaughtered off the field. But, well, there's only one way to find out. Yep, there goes the SC300. Right, let's try and see if we can keep up with the field this time and not miss a checkpoint, because hopefully there should not be any buildings nearby. I don't know how well YouTube compression is going to like this whole ghost mode, but now we're out of it. If we can get on the inside, that's quite very sneaky, a bit tricky to do that, but we have managed to get back 9th. There's... oh... Corrado's on the inside, I can't do much. That's going to force us very, very wide. And this ends right to the edge of us. The Corrado's managed to take their spot back from in front of us, even though we did get a really good pass on the start of that. And then we're going up to the edge of probably one of the last but one corners. This is usually the tricky one, so a lot of people end up in the wall over there. And, yeah, that's not good. Okay, we're back in 11th, so it's not completely lost, but life goes on. And so does this race, because we've got quite a fair few laps still to do. They're all set at 6 laps this time instead of 5. Like last time I attempted to record this one, it didn't really go round too well. But, oh well. Right, we'll break early, we'll try and keep an inside tighter line this time to what we did the first time around. It wasn't too good the first time, but hopefully now we should be able to try and use what little speed we have to keep ahead of probably Raven, who is behind us, Ravenhog. I don't know what they're driving, but... oh, that's really tricky. Right, brake, we'll go down a gear, barely scrape the checkpoint, but we should be able to get through there. It's a whole mess between 2nd and 3rd as to what we need going around that corner, because, yes, that's how this thing's gearbox works, apparently. Okay, we can at least hold that line a little better than I thought we could, which is quite good. Can we be a little cheeky chappy and go across here? We can sort of take like a try-hard line across there, which is not recommended, but it's apparently doable now. Oh, we did pay for it on that corner though. We couldn't do the line that we usually take on that, which is not the best. Okay, we just need to keep doing what we're doing. We should be okay. We want to try and catch 10th if I can. I want to try and catch the MX-5. Because that little thing, as you saw on the dirt, was absolutely just... it was gone. It was out of there. The MX-5 was literally like, see ya, I'm out. It did miss a checkpoint, but then it went back to get past us before the end of the race. Don't hit the wall. Okay, we're good. Can get on the brakes early, try and take a little bit more speed. That was tricky because it did nearly miss that checkpoint. So I think we're going to have to stick with the line that we did down here, which is go out wide and then cut back in here and see if we can do the same over this side. Let's see, can we make it stick? We can. So it's definitely a quicker line going through there. But we've got to try and see. I don't know where we keep losing time. Could it be my driving? Could it be the fact that I keep braking too late? Could it be this car's entire thing? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is by racing it, which is what we're doing right now. That was a terrible gear shift. I actually thought we needed to go down a gear when we actually didn't, but oh well, we did have enough space on Raven to be able to make that sort of mistake and still be able to get away with it. I'm going to get on the brakes early and try and see if we can throw it. Yeah, that's better. And now we're going to be going on to a lap 5, which is interesting because I didn't know we were going on to lap 5, but apparently that's what we're doing. Right, we'll go on to the brakes, try and sneak it around here pretty good. I believe the next race after this is also going to be another dirt circuit, which is where this thing kind of shines a little bit. We're going to take a very tricky line. I did not want to change camera views game, thank you. Right, let's keep going this way. And oh, that's better. We can actually make our moves sort of work a little bit more across there. First is going on to lap number 6 already, so we might end up even being lapped at some point. There's only so defensive I can be with this car, so oh well. Ren is currently out in first. Steve in the Porsche is in second, and Star... No. Was Star in the Porsche? Yeah, Star in the Porsche is in third, and Steve is the Datsun, I believe. I'm going to have to check that at the end of the race, but that is the current standings. And whatever Ren's driving, I'm not sure what they're driving. It's something. It has 4 wheels and it goes, but we don't know what that something is. Oh well. Right, let's try and keep going. I've got a feeling that mine and Raven's lap times are probably going to be quite close through here. Well, that's how we did get a pretty clean run without having to do any of the extra little bits and pieces. Now if I can pull this thing into the turn, then it should be okay to light braking. Yeah, we're able to carry out that turn pretty well. Right, let's see. I've got a feeling I probably mentioned the fact it's reasonably priced cars in the last race, but it is reasonably priced cars, so stuff 30k and below. Just couldn't remember if I did that or not. We're going to make it? Nope, we're not. We're going to be really close. If we had made just a little bit more space, we probably could have made it to the line. But, oh well. Right, we're going to let the leaderboard show up a little bit, and we'll go and see sort of what happened, I guess, what Ren was driving at the time. It's the Honda Civic. Oh, okay. So that's the 2007 Honda Civic up in first, Datsun 510 in second, and the Porsche in third. Interesting. Okay then, so it turns out the Honda Civic isn't actually as bad as people make it out to be, for at least for B class in this case, which is what we had to build these up to. And all the cars have disappeared, nobody knows where they've gone. Oh well. Right, do we have something? We do indeed also have a wheel spin from this, so we'll go and check what we get from that. We get a cowbell horn. Okay, on to the next race. So we go on to track number 4, the Mangrove Scramble. Now this is actually a really nice track, and I happen to know this one pretty well, as I kind of took a Mitsubishi around it at God knows how many miles an hour. Well, I say Mitsubishi is more a Mercedes, the massive racing truck, and we start out in second alongside the SC300. So, going to be interesting to see how the all-wheel drive of this thing pays off, because if you remember from Caldera, that SC300, as soon as it gets going, yep, it's gone. There goes the Rally, and there goes the Porsche as well. So we're now holding a 5th from second, which is not too good. I just need to get a grip for this track. There goes the 510. And the 4 Puma 2. And there goes the Civic. That Civic is taking some dodgy lines, and this sounds right alongside us. In fact, that's probably going to dive to the inside, so I'm going to have to give that some space. I know there's a tree through here that you've got to be really careful of. Sorry, Volkswagen. Whoever was driving that, my bad. We're just going to have to keep going up along here, so there's nothing else we could have done. Right, we're back into a solid 9th. However, this track is a lot longer than the Caldera Scramble, so if we can make some stuff stick, then we should be okay. There's going to be, I imagine it's going to be looking to the inside probably, so I'm going to give that some space to do so. Although it didn't know. Maybe it was too close to, or too far away to be able to make it work. Who knows? The Nissan and the Volkswagen Corrado are having an absolute battle amongst themselves, which is good because it gives us a chance to catch up. Only it would have been better if we didn't fluff up that corner, but alas, we did, and there's not much I can do about it, because well, I wasn't able to do much to this thing. Or just some tyre width, different tyre compoundings from track width, and that's about it. I wasn't able to lower it, raise it, or do much to it, really. So we're going to be going into some great speed. Oh, too much speed, too much speed. Where's the Volvo? Ow, that's a wall. Okay, that Volvo is going to be looking to the inside. I'm actually kind of surprised at that thing. It's front-wheel drive after all. We all know how it did back at the Caldera Scramble race. And I've got a feeling that MX-5 is going to be behind us at some point very, very soon. I think the Porsche's gotten to the front of the lead of the race again. Oh, the Porsche went too far into the corner. I went too far into the corner following it. I think second is probably where his strength lies, because once you get to third, all the power in this thing is just gone. Too much, too much. Nope, okay. Actually, we're pretty good at that. There goes the MX-5. They've finally got enough space to get past, but can we cut back? Nope, okay, never mind. I was hoping we could probably have enough power to try and make that work, but we don't have nearly as much power as I thought. Although, with a slight battle between me and the MX-5, we are able to get past it, but I don't know for how long. Because that does give us the inside going back into here, but I don't know if we've got the pace to make it work. Well, only one way to find out. That's the floor it's there. The MX-5 is sideways. We've got to get on the brakes super early. The MX-5 tried, but it pushed way too much speed through there. So down here is where it's going to catch me, because again, like I said, with this thing, when you get to third, you don't have any speed. However, this thing is now 5 laps instead of 6 laps, so I'm kind of happy about that. I've just got to figure out where the MX-5 is going to try and make its move, and of course going through here, you've got to be really tricky, so you've got trees that are on the left-hand side. Let's brake early, so we can try and not do that, but apparently we did anyway. There wasn't really much we could do, and the MX-5 is once again really close to us, but they're on the other side now. If we can try and keep an inside line and make that work, we're going to have to brake really early and be very defensive for MX-5, but at the end of the day, we've got to try and at least keep our spot in 10th, because, yeah, the brake early, force it to go around the outside of this. Sorry. Yeah, there's nothing we could do, because it definitely had the inner line going into that corner, which is going to be a pain, because it's going to have this inner line too. Though I know if we were a bit closer, I could make that stick, but sadly we're not close enough. Once again, that Datsun 510 at the front has completely run away. However, the top 3 is different this time. We've got the Datsun, we've got whatever Skylark's driving, and whatever Tesla's driving too. I'm not quite too sure. Right, let's see. I'm surprised at how well the Volvo's doing. MX-5 binned it into the wall. I binned it into the wall. I don't think either of us can brake, and where's 12th? Is that 12th over there? Oh, Raven must have missed a checkpoint or something. Alright, let's keep going. This thing, turns out, is not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still not the best to drive, so I'm going to have to probably go back to the drawing board if we ever take on stuff like this again to try and find myself a little bit of a better vehicle. So if you got any ideas, let me know in the comments, and who knows, the best ones might get picked for the next sort of multiplayer race, depending on what the car class restrictions are. That was Ren's job this time around. Right, we're up alongside the MX-5, which is going to make it really hard for us to pass it, because they've got to stick inside. But if we can try and poke our nose up the inside here, it's not going to work. Oh, that's not good. That is really, really not good. Right, we're going to have to just keep going and hope for the best. We've got to either hope that somebody up front misses a checkpoint, or we get some miracle of miracles and are able to catch something super quickly. As now, look at that MX-5, it is just completely gone. Now, because I know this thing's got turning advantage, we can do that and barely scrape the checkpoint. If we get on the brakes early, we're able to at least try and send it around here a little better. That's maybe what we should have done the past few laps around, because we are on the final lap now. But at least we're doing semi-okay. We should be able to catch everybody at the finish line. Hopefully not get DNF this time around, even though we are in 11th and in definite DNF territory, because this track's quite a tight, twisty one. So if we get one move wrong, that's it, you're gone. We need to brake in advance to try and make that corner a little better, which we did. Shows that it is also at the cost of losing some grounds to that MX-5. Skylark has gone across the line. Don't know what happens to the Datsun, because that's now in 3rd. So that's kind of interesting. Test finished in 2nd with the MX-5 still up ahead of 10th. Oh, I should not use a handbrake. That was a terrible idea. Don't know what I was thinking. Wait, did the MX-5... Oh. That's what happened. Well, that went well. Okay, let's try and get this fixed and we'll move back on to hopefully race number 5. So after that slight little internet issue from my side over here, turns out it was just me. But yeah, aside from that, we're now back into the 5th and last race of this little session. And yeah, we can see the 510 right next to us, so let's go ahead and go. We're starting off at the Emerald Circuit for the last race. So this should be interesting, because as we all know, this thing doesn't do well as soon as it hits tarmac. In fact, there goes the MX-5 again. That thing seems to be an actually pretty decent little car. Now, there's a series of tight turns along here which you really do need to get right, and they're just up here. There we go. Now, the fun thing about this is, because of the tyres I have on it, I can floor it a little bit more than usual. And there's also a very tight chicane down here which you need to get right. That MX-5 is right behind me. It's probably just going to try and get inside, isn't it? There it is. That thing took the inside, and I had to go on the brakes because I was carrying way too much speed into that. But at least, hopefully, we should be good for at least trying to keep up to the pack again. So let's go and see. Now, this is meant to be a kind of team adventure style thing. However, team adventure is currently not in Horizon 5, although hopefully soon it should be added eventually, because that would make driving a whole lot easier. But yeah. Oh well. We can take a lot more speed than that MX-5, but we do run the risk right there of hitting that wall, which is going to set us back a little bit further than intended. But thankfully we're running dirt tyres, so that will make life a little easier. Okay, I don't know what happened just there. We made like 3 places. Oh no, some test missed a checkpoint, that's what happened. What happened to KJ and Surge then? Don't know what happened there, but we've just jumped up like 3 places. I can only assume the other 3... I know one of them missed a checkpoint, but I don't know what happened to the other 2. Okay, so we're going to have to check behind us, because something will be probably racing towards us at great speed. Is that the... Nope, that's a Sylvia ahead of us, with a lot of smoke. So, Joseph, that thing can get its power down. Up front, it does look interesting. If we go onto a little bumper cam here, we'll get like a little filming shot of it. But we'll go back to our outside camera, because we actually need to focus on the race and where we're going, so we don't end up in that wall again. It's actually pretty good. We did get around the wall nicely this time. Oh, that's close. Okay, I can see what happened to Tess then. Probably nearly got the edge of it, and that little bump's just enough to unsettle the car to the point where it'll bounce and probably just be a little uncontrollable. The worst bit for this one is these tight corners here. This car loves it and hates it at the same time. Oh, and the MX-5 did not come out of that too well. The MX-5 did not do too well at that bit at all. However, that did get us the 8th place back, which is kind of interesting, but because it's the MX-5, it's probably going to be on our tail probably in about 2 seconds. Because that thing's a really quick, underestimated little car. Like, you do not underestimate what that little MX-5 can do, because it's honestly actually pretty quick. You saw it on the dirt in the previous race and how it flew past me. That's somebody sideways. I'm in a wall. The MX-5 is really rapidly gaining on us. Also, we do get a lot of ability to kind of like throw our car around, because the joys of picking an all-wheel drive car is, even though I couldn't do much to it engine-wise, I can at least throw on some dirt tyres, and it should be a little bit more grippy. Now we're going to there, so MX-5 might try and cut on the inside of us. We're just going to have to check. Yeah, that MX-5 is right behind us now. So we've just got to try and keep some close control over our car. Be a little defensive where we can. We're at least quicker through that, and I know we're quicker through that, which is actually quite good and works to our advantage really well. But honestly, the MX-5 is quicker everywhere else. Because, again, third, there's just no power, so I'm expecting that thing to go past me at any instant. But up front, the Sylvia actually seems to be doing pretty good for itself. We'll go on the brakes a little bit so don't clonk the wall as much. There wasn't really anything we could do about not clonking the wall. Somebody has gone off to visit probably the edge of the mountain. Where's that MX-5? It is right there. We're going to have to probably go out wide and give that thing some space to get past. Oh, wait, no. Okay, there's not enough space for it to make it stick. It catches up. By the time it catches up, there's just not enough space for it to do a proper dive. But down here it might. Oh, especially if I nearly hit that, which I didn't, but I did get incredibly close to hitting it. Again, down here, it's trying to make it stick, but it's just not getting enough of a chance to, so we can cover this inner corner. And then if we can keep that line going... Oh, wait, never mind. No, it's definitely got a chance. But we're quicker out of that corner, which is actually pretty good for us. I feel like the gears in this GTO are a bit on the long side, but at the moment, for races like this, that is kind of playing to our advantage, which is actually really, really good. That and the fact that MX-5 is rear-wheel drive, but then again, it also does start out in D. Oh, you've got to be close. That was... Oh, that was really, really tricky, and that was nearly us gone. As you can see in this race, the second you miss a checkpoint, that's it, you're done for. So we've got to get on the brakes super early, go down a couple of gears so we can get ourselves stopped in time, and try and cover the inside line of all of this if we can, because I want to try and end this on a little bit of a high note of not DNFing. Because, yeah, we've DNF'd quite a fair few times this race, and also disconnected once. If we can at least finish, we should be good, which we are going to do. The MX-5 is close, but it's not going to be close enough, and we will take a very nice, I think that was 9th? No, it was 8th. Okay, one better than I thought. So now we get to see what happened and who got the win and fastest lap. I was not paying attention to that leaderboard, so I was trying to keep the GTO under control. So we've got the SC300, which started in first, the Honda Civic in 2007 in second, and the Porsche 914 in third. That's actually really, really good. And of course, over here should be any moment. There is our winner with the SC300. Two of the cars have made an appearance this time, one has still disappeared. Oh well. Right, we'll go ahead and skip that and continue. And that will be it for this sort of random little B-class car adventure. If you want me to do more of these, let me know with a like, because honestly, let me know if you like this kind of stuff. We've been unable to join sessioned, and I don't know what's going on. I think we're caught in a sandstorm if I load back in time. Yep, there we go. This thing looks really nice now. But yeah, that will do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment. I love to read them. I try to upload as many as I can. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye. Okay, I wonder what class we're doing next.